It's a long journey for us. I mean, there are a lot of us who will never see that. We're actually developing a world for probably our grandchildren. At the end of the day, it's in ourselves. We have to do all that hopeful thing ourselves. Don't wait for anybody else. That's how I see the world. It's about us, it's about a whānau. It's building back your whānau, really coming together a lot, I suppose.
It's really, really important that we're listening to our kaumātua, but that we are taking their wisdom, applying it in today's context and moving our people forward. Whanaki ake, whanaki ake. And if we're not going to move forward, we're going to remain stagnant and we're going to be a still tribe. And for me, that's not even an option. I want to see us moving forward, and I want to see our generations to come prosper.
Thank you for joining us today as we explain how our proposed Treaty of Waitangi Settlement Redress will be received from the Crown and managed so our whānau can move forward together towards a future where all of our people and future generations to come can prosper. Part of ratification involves establishing a post-settlement governance entity known as a PSGE to hold, manage and administer our settlement assets. The most common form of PSGE is a private trust that is accountable to its beneficiaries. Between 2018 and 2019, the Maniapoto Māori Trust Board sought input from our people on what they would like our PSGE to look like. A number of hui were held, some of which were live-streamed online for those who could not attend kanohi ki te kanohi. Maniapoto Māori Trust Board also conducted surveys, online webinars and live Q&A sessions to give everyone as much opportunity as possible to ask pātai and provide feedback to ultimately help shape our new PSGE. Our settlement cannot be completed until a PSGE has been ratified by our people and legally established. The Maniapoto Māori Trust Board will be disestablished once we reach settlement, and Te Nehenehenui will become our new mandated iwi organisation.
Te Nehenehenui takes its name from the great forest of this region, and it is a name that our old people have always used. I can remember as a young child growing up and listening to our old people on our marae, always referring to, nau mai hara mai ki te nehenehenui, ki te rohe pōtai o Maniapoto. Though that name has always held fast, and it continues to be a name that is in common use by our people within our families today. So Te Nehenehenui is this region. It includes all of us, our whānau, our hapu, our marae. It is what connects us together as the people connected to the region, connected to the children of Tāne and Tangarua. It expresses our whakapapa to the land. It has a much deeper connection for us than just being literally translated as the Great Forest. It defines our connection to this place.
Today we will share with you the details of the proposed structure, trustee representation, and how Te Nehenehenui will operate. Te Nehenehenui is designed to be collaborative and reflect the aspirations of our people. Te Nehenehenui will appoint a group chief executive and will have a commercial arm and a charitable arm to manage the assets and financial redress we are set to receive. It will be governed by 14 trustees and allow for one intern trustee, all of whom must abide by rules regarding accountability, reporting, dispute resolutions, and meetings as set out in the trust deed. A copy of this trust deed is available online at the Maniapoto Māori Trust Board website if you'd like to read more about these rules in more detail. Now let's take a moment to look at how these trustees will be elected or appointed. Our region will be divided geographically into 7 whare. A total of 7 ngā kuratau trustees will be elected, one to represent each of the following whare. Te whare ki Rereahu. Te whare ki Mokau ki Runga. Te whare ki Tūhua Hikurangi. Te whare ki Hauāuru ki Uta. Te whare o Waiwaia. Te whare ki Te Tokanga Nui Anoho. And te whare ki ngā tai o Kāwhia. The purpose of these 7 whare is to support the activities of Te Nehenehenui at a regional level, including the following. To support the election of 1 ngā kuratau trustee to represent each whare o Te Nehenehenui. To represent whānau and hapu at a regional level. To represent the rohe in land, water and environmental matters at a regional level, consistent with our goals and aspirations. To promote the exercise of mana whakahaere by whānau and hapu over cultural redress sites returned as part of our settlement. To collaborate with key partners to support regional development, consistent with our tribal goals and aspirations. To lead the facilitation of regional opportunities to support regional growth. And to lead initiatives at a regional level agreed by the trustees as priorities for development. These 7 ngā kuratau trustees will be elected by the adult registered whānau of Maniapoto, who have selected that particular whare o Te Nehenehenui as their primary whare for the purposes of kuratau elections on their iwi registration form. You must be over 18 years of age to vote in these elections. To become a ngā kuratau trustee, you must be a registered member of the relevant whare o Te Nehenehenui, be nominated by their marae to stand for election, and be elected by members of that particular whare o Te Nehenehenui by majority vote. In addition to the 7 ngā kuratau trustees, a further 6 ngā kurarere trustees will be elected. All adult registered whānau can vote for up to 6 trustees from all kurarere nominees. The 2 final trustees will be appointed to their roles. One will be a kaumātua representative, nominated by the rōpū kaumātua, one of 3 reference groups that will guide the Te Nehenehenui activities. We will explain more about these reference groups shortly. The last trustee will be an intern and can be appointed by the other trustees. This intern must be a registered whānau member who demonstrates leadership potential and possesses skills or knowledge relevant to the purposes of Te Nehenehenui. This role provides an opportunity for whānau to gain valuable governance experience. The intern trustee will serve a 1-year term.
There was a lot of discussion around the intern trustee role. A lot of that discussion was around rangatahi. And actually it was rangatahi themselves that said that they should be trustees in their own right. If you think about that age group between 18 and 30, and some might say that that could be defined as rangatahi, there is so much firepower within that age group. There are so many young Maniapoto people with wonderful skills, wonderful experience, and it's time for them to come home. Time for them to get involved in the settlement, time for them to participate and to bring those skills back and to be part of shaping the future for Ngāti Maniapoto. So the intern trustee role is an avenue that helps support that to happen. It's a 1-year trusteeship, and they're appointed by the existing trustees. It gives you an opportunity to get experience of what actually goes on within a PSGE, and it provides you with an avenue to be elected as a trustee in your own right.
If there is sufficient support, our PSGE trust deed will be signed in 2021. The establishment trustees will be responsible for organising and managing the first election of initial trustees to Te Nehenehenui. It is proposed that these establishment trustees will be the current trustees of Maniapoto Māori Trust Board to allow for continuity and a smooth transition of assets. Trustee elections will then be held every 3 years. As already mentioned, 3 reference groups will be established to help guide Te Nehenehenui. Te Rōpū Kaumātua will be made up of representatives who are adult registered members. This rōpū will advise on matters relating to the tikanga, te reo and kawa of Maniapoto. Te Rōpū Rangatahi will represent the whakaaro of our rangatahi. These representatives must be registered whānau aged 35 years or under. This group may provide advice on any matters that the group or the trustees think is necessary. And finally, ngā whakapapa will represent iwi members who normally reside outside of our rohe. They will also provide advice when they or the trustees feel such views are required. As we explained earlier, the existing Maniapoto Māori Trust Board will be dissolved under treaty settlement legislation. That means all existing assets must be transferred to our new PSGE. Therefore, Te Nehenehenui will also take over the assets and functions of the Maniapoto Fisheries Trust, which currently looks after Maniapoto's fisheries settlement assets. You will be asked to vote on the transfer of the mandated iwi organisation and iwi aquaculture organisation status also. While the Maniapoto Fisheries Trust will cease to exist, Te Kupenga will remain the asset holding company for our fisheries assets. It will instead report to Te Nehenehenui. This move is designed to streamline the management of both our treaty settlement assets and our fisheries assets. Te Nehenehenui will become the new mandated iwi organisation for Maniapoto under the Māori Fisheries Act 2004 and the new iwi aquaculture organisation under the Māori Commercial Aquacultural Claims Settlement Act 2004. Te Nehenehenui will be responsible for maintaining a register of whānau who are both beneficiaries of our treaty settlement and our fisheries settlement redress, as well as voting yes for the settlement. In order for this new governance structure to proceed, you will be asked to vote yes on 2 separate resolutions. That you accept Te Nehenehenui as the post-settlement governance entity for Ngāti Maniapoto to receive and manage Treaty of Waitangi settlement redress on behalf of Ngāti Maniapoto. And that you agree to ratify the constitutional documents of Te Nehenehenui for the purposes of the Māori Fisheries Act 2004 and the Māori Commercial Aquaculture Claims Settlement Act 2004, and agree it should replace the Maniapoto Māori Trust Board as the Ngāti Maniapoto mandated iwi organisation and iwi aquaculture organisation for the purposes of those acts. We strongly recommend that you vote yes to these recommendations. Remember, our settlement cannot proceed until we have ratified and established a PSGE. These new arrangements have been carefully thought through. But it's important to note that the proposed PSGE trust deed requires a 5-year review to take place to make sure Te Nehenehenui is functioning well and is fit for purpose. In order to carry out an open and transparent review, the trustees must engage and consult with our people, seeking feedback and input as part of that review process. Our new PSGE, Te Nehenehenui, is designed to be accountable to all whānau and will keep our people updated through regular hui, e-pānui, written correspondence, website and online engagement through various communication platforms.
Taringa whakarongo, karu titiro. We are our own destiny makers. We have the opportunity now to take our destiny with our own hands and make it happen. That means for every single one of you, ngā uri o Maniapoto, ngā uri o ngā hapu karangamaha o Ngāti Maniapoto, now is the time to vote. You must vote. We can't have endured the last 20 or 30 years of a process that has taken its toll on us as a people to not vote. This is the time. Ngāti unu, Ngāti kahu, my own relatives, now is the time to vote. You must vote. Whether you vote yes or no for our future, the most important thing is that you vote. Do not let it be said in 2-3 years' time that you shoulda, woulda, coulda. Because if you're going to sing your shoulda, woulda, couldas, we're not going to listen. It's too late. We have an opportunity ahead of us. Become your own destiny makers. Seize the day, as they say, and vote, vote, vote.
Kua tai te wā. It's time to have your say.